Hey guys. So this isn't gonna be like a normal highlights video. So just quick warning, if you don't want to hear me talk about very personal and probably depressing things, this is not gonna be the video for you, because that's basically what this is gonna be. I'm gonna talk about where I've been, what I've been up to, what's gonna happen with this channel, and just overall thoughts. But before any of that, I'm going to talk about this level, because I like it a lot. So this is Arpeggi? Arpeggi? I think it's Arpeggi. Like an arpeggio. And it's awesome. It's so freaking cool. This level is literally like everything I love about IMAX's style, and it has such like unique gameplay. The song is so fucking amazing. Like definitely one of Radiohead's best in my opinion. Yeah, this level's just, it's so good. And it's also like accessible, which is nice. I feel like there are so many like cool levels that use Radiohead songs, but I feel like every Radiohead song is just like, it has to be really hard Extreme Demon. Like Dex Dark, Hail to the Thief, Lotus Flower. This is just a hard demon, so I like it for that. I don't think we're gonna have another paranoid android incident on this hard demon, so that's good. But anyway, on to the main course of the video. Where have I been? What have I been up to? What's happening with DFT? Bad things, I think, is the best way to summarize it. So as some of you may know, I got really sick after coming back home from my trip to Japan, and you know, I've been sick before. It's not great, but you know, I was under the assumption that, you know, I'd just be able to deal with it and move on, like how being sick normally works. But I think there was something about just like the super high energy, like constant busyness and excitement of Japan, and then immediately getting home and being stuck in my house for 2 weeks, that just really fucked with me mentally. I didn't really realize it at the time, but I think that combination of events really fucked with my mental health. I think when I was sick, I was still uploading a little bit on my main and second channel, and you know, I was just overall doing okay, but I think school starting sort of like amplified all of the bad parts of my depression, just out of like anxiety. I was planning to work a lot more on college apps and like summer homework and stuff over the summer. Because I was sick, I just did not have the mental energy, so I ended up getting really like unhealthily stressed about like summer homework and college applications, and that sent me down like a bad spiral, I think, that led to several things outside of my like education that just started messing with my mental health. Well, okay, that's a lot of the things, the other parts are actually unrelated to that, but I don't know, that was like the first bad thing that happened, was me getting sick and not being able to work on the things I needed to work on. So in terms of like direct effects, I had to really cram a lot of my summer homework right at the end of the year. I mean, end of the summer. And that was just really stressful and sort of just set me off on a bad path, or like bad mental surrounding school. But then there were several other things that happened in that time of like July and like going into August that just kind of ruined me. So I think the biggest one was with my dad. Now, I'm not gonna like get into any specifics about like what the disagreement was about, but I don't know, we've sort of been in this conflict for over half a year now. Like I think it started December 2024, and he's just been overall a negative influence in my life. which sounds like really hard to like say about a parent, but he's been emotionally manipulating me in ways that are like extremely inappropriate for like a father-child relationship. Sometimes I'll like be mad at him for like just lying to me, because okay, so when it comes to this conflict we've been having, he's been lying to me and my mom about what each other are like thinking and talking about, which is really fucked up and very manipulative. And whenever I would call him out on it, he would like start crying, say like all he wants to do is protect our relationship. Really like scary, manipulative bullshit. And, oh, 46 to 100, that's nice. Anyway, yeah, that's been on my mind way too much, because he's sort of just, like, inserted himself into my life, and I've told him all of this, and he always says that he's gonna work to improve, but then just doesn't listen to me at all when I'm telling him how he can do better. I love him and I care about him, but I think that just makes it worse, because that makes me like way more susceptible to like the weird manipulation tactics he uses, and it's just overall been really disappointing and incredibly stressful. So I think that's the majority of why I've been so depressed, but there's been a few other things recently too. I had like it wasn't a fight, there was just an extremely stressful situation with one of my online friends. I still haven't really like resolved it, but there's nothing like actively going on. But what that did is it sort of made me stop using Discord as much, and now I'm at the point where I'm like barely using it at all, which I mean might be like healthy in a way, but I have a lot of online friends that I like genuinely care about, and so just not really talking to them has been rough. And so all of this has been sort of weighing on me as I'm going into the school year, and I can't deal with it. My course schedule is easier than it was last year, but I don't know, I think because of all of like the shit that happened in July, my tolerance for like schoolwork just went down. I just haven't been able to do work without panicking and stressing and feeling like I'm fucking something up. So I was doing not great in school. It just well, I mean, it wasn't like that I was missing assignments or not doing well grades wise. I started getting burnt out really fast. Like after the first week, I was just tired and like emotionally drained. This all ended up culminating around 2 days ago now in probably top 3 worst days of my life. I was super tired and burnt out from the previous day, and then because of this program I'm in at my school, I'm required to take an afternoon or like evening class, which is 6 to 9 p.m. Once a week. So it was Tuesday, and I had already had like a really rough day, and then I get home, and my mom, I mean, I know she was like well-meaning, but she just like makes me talk about a bunch of like really personal stuff. I told her that like I really didn't want to talk about it, but she was like, I just want to know like amount. So I start talking about it, and I feel like shit. I had like that little piece of time after getting home before my evening class, and I spent the whole time crying, and I felt really bad. But I get in my dad's car and we start driving over to my afternoon class, and he rear-ends somebody. And I mean, realistically, it's not like the end of the world. Like, it probably would have made me like 10 minutes late for class, and I would have just moved on. But with the way that my day had been going, and all of like this emotional stress I'd been holding for months, I just ran away. There's like a small mountain park near where I live, and we were close by, so I got out of the car and ran. I didn't have like a plan for what I was gonna do or anything, but I ended up having some pretty bad suicidal ideation, and that was like really horrifying to me because I hadn't had like serious thoughts of self-harm in almost a year, and so I really thought I was getting better, and that sort of like solidified that I wasn't, and things were getting worse, and that was devastating to me, like genuinely devastating. Like, I'd put all of this time and energy with my therapist and just on my own into getting into a more mentally stable headspace, and it didn't pay off. Multiple years of working on this, and I felt like I was back at square one. After a few hours of not answering texts or contacting anyone, I called my therapist and we talked, and it was helpful. I don't know. It got me into a place where I could at least like go home. I'm not really much better mood-wise, but I've been more stable, I guess. I haven't gone to school since it happened 2 days ago, just out of fear for like a public panic attack or some kind of just raw anxiety. So this is basically me at my lowest, which has been rough to grapple with, and my dad hasn't been helping. He's really insistent on me going back to school, which, I mean, I see where he's coming from, but I just don't feel safe going back right now, and the ways that he's been trying to convince me to go back have been manipulative. He tried to guilt trip me into going back to school by talking about how it hurts as a parent to see your child like undoing all of their hard work. And so that's just sort of been making everything worse. Anyway, that was really heavy. If you're still here, thanks genuinely for listening. I've been meaning to like be more open about my mental health stuff on my channel for a while, but whenever I've like talked about it, I've cut it out of videos just because it feels weird and out of place. But after the thing that happened 2 days ago, I don't know, I just need to, I feel like some sort of obligation to be more open about this stuff. And so here's me being more open about it. Content, Goner, all my other projects, it's literally just gonna be like, am I feeling okay enough to do anything? And a lot of the time I'm guessing that answer is gonna be no, but I hope you stick with me anyway. Despite how I've been talking, things haven't been like all bad recently, so I think I'm gonna talk about some of the good things that have happened. I have a really close friend who's also been struggling with a lot of the same things I have recently, and we've had like a couple like really deep personal conversations that have helped a lot, so that's been something really nice that's come out of all of this shit. Oh, there's 29 to 100. In addition to my really good friend, something that's been helping me a lot is music, and that's actually part of the reason I picked this level to play. I've been listening to a lot of Radiohead, and it's been calming me down to some extent, which is nice. I think through like this mental health experience that has been the last like 2 months, I've grown like a much stronger connection with music. I mean, I already had a pretty strong connection with music, but like I don't know, something about like just everything that's been going on has made me value it a lot more. And this is one of the songs I've been listening to, and it's such a good one. It's so okay. I'm not gonna get into like a song review, but yeah, Radiohead has been helping me a lot. If you're curious, my favorite album of theirs is A Moon-Shaped Pool. Other music I've been listening to, a lot of Willie Rodriguez. I'd like listened to Wet Dream a while ago, which is like his magnum opus. It's easily his best album, but I've recently been checking out a lot of his other stuff, and it's also really good. Nice. Okay. I didn't even mean to do that run. I was just trying to learn the part, but there's 23 to 100, I guess. I've gotten sort of into Minecraft speedrunning, which is cool. I actually haven't finished a run yet, but I've died in the end 3 times. Fuck!
Oh no!
Which is like really crazy to me, because for the longest time, I mean, I always had really liked Minecraft speedrunning. Like, I thought it was super cool, but I also thought it was like super inaccessible, which it just isn't. There's such a cool community around it, and I've sort of been immersing myself in that, and that's been helping. Actually, my PB is still 3 days at the moment, but again, I've died in the end a few times, and all of them would have been under an hour if I didn't mess up and die, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think I'm ready to go from 0 on this level. 1. 14. Oh, another good thing. Recently, I finished another, well, not finished, it's like 99% done. I just need to like bug fix, lock skips, and polish a few things, but basically finished another solo level, which is cool. Solo layout, because I've only really ever finished This Travel and Feelin' Old, and so I finally finished another one, and it is definitely my favorite of all my levels so far. So that's pretty awesome. Also awesome, I made it, 27. What's also awesome is that I made it for one of my IRL friends, because they showed me the album the song is from, and they've sort of been like sharing a lot of music with me. They also speedrun Minecraft, and they have also shown me some of that too, so I don't know, they've just been like being super cool with all these interests I'm using to calm myself down, and so I made them a level. Kind of. I think I probably would have made it regardless, but just like making it for someone gave me motivation to finish it, so that level will probably be up on the channel sometime soon whenever I get around to finishing like all of the playtesting and then uploading it. I don't actually know if I'm gonna verify it, or if I'm gonna get someone else to verify it, or if it's just gonna be like open verification, because it's like, I think it's around insane even difficulty, and I am pretty washed at this game, because building that level has basically been the only GD I've been playing recently, which it's been fun, but like, I'm washed at like the actual game. This is literally like the first like actual level I'm gonna be in like, I don't know, maybe a month. This first ball is like super clicky. There's so many clicks, and that makes it pretty hard. Like I'm struggling for sure. $31, not bad. Yeah, I think this level's pretty first half heavy, so I should start making some big progress. Whoops. Okay. Nice. You know what? It's good to be back. Let's Geometry Dash saying a warm welcome back. Why did I click there? my god, let's go. That took a lot longer than it should have. But I enjoyed it. This level's really good. I think it might have just been like the high CPS at the start, or because I was doing a part wrong and didn't figure it out for a while, but like I found that like tier 14 or 15 difficulty and it's tier 11, so I don't know. Great level, go play it. And also thanks for listening to me talk about things. Okay, bye.